pensioners are being urged to check if they are eligible for the winter fuel payment, with today a key deadline for applying for the benefit. Let's go live to Westminster. Our political correspondent Amanda Akass is there. It feels like this day has been coming for months, Amanda, given it was one of the first things Labour said when they were coming to government, that they were going to effectively means test the winter fuel payment. But here we are, and still potentially hundreds of thousands who are eligible aren't going to get it.
Well, yes, there was a massive backlash at the time when Labour announced they were going to be cutting the winter fuel allowance, so it would no longer be a universal benefit for everyone aged over 66 and instead would be only paid to the poorest pensioners, those in receipt of a pension credit or a number of other benefits. But I think now it's the winter, it's cold, it's just before Christmas. The reality of what not having those payments means really is beginning to bite home for many people. And effectively, it's a payment which, if you're over 80, you would get £300. If you're over 66, you would get £200. Now you'll only get it if you're someone in receipt of these certain kinds of benefits, particularly pension credit. And the crucial thing about today is that it is the deadline to make sure that you have applied for pension credit if you're eligible for that. You've got until 11:59 p.m. tonight. And if you're not sure how to do that, there is a helpline being run by the Department of Work and Pensions that is operating until 3:15 p.m. today, because obviously going online and applying for this if you've never done before could be quite a tall order, but hopefully they'll be able to help people, because it's estimated that some 760,000 people who are potentially eligible for this payment haven't yet signed up for the benefits that they need to do in order to be able to claim that payment. And it is a huge change. Previously, 11 million people were getting this payment to help them with the bills over the winter. Now it's thought that'll only be just over 1 million people who will still be eligible. And the difficulty for it is particularly people who are kind of near the line. I think, of course, there'll be many people who are very well off for whom it hasn't been a huge consideration, but there are many other people in the middle who will no longer be eligible for this, but who may be worrying about the money and who will be wondering when it gets cold, well, is it cold enough to put the heating on? And the whole point of this benefit, when it was first introduced, was so that pensioners and older people wouldn't be sitting there at home in the cold and worrying about that. Labour say they had to make this decision because they've inherited a £22 billion black hole in the finances, as they've described it. So they say it's only fair to make sure this is targeted at the people who need it the most. It'll save them about £1.5 billion altogether. But the key message today is to make sure, if you're someone who could be eligible for this because your income isn't enough that you could get it tapped up by pension credit, that means that you will also get the winter fuel payment as well, as long as you apply for it by midnight tonight.
Amanda, thank you.